Hey everyone, we are just testing out some technology, so I hope that you can see us okay. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome Steph to our live today. And Steph's at school, so you can hear the bell going on. We are chatting about why teachers need and deserve support. We have this brand new era of PDHPE here in New South Wales. So, Steph, can you share a little bit about yourself and why you have made the move to join us inside the PDHPE membership?
Yeah, so I'm the head teacher at a small Anglican school on the far south coast. I have myself and three other people in my faculty. Some of them have not, like a couple of them haven't really spent much time in terms of programming. And because our closest sort of Anglican school to us is a couple of hours away, it's hard to collaborate with others. But Kel has made it super easy to collaborate with people far and wide on her platform, and having her support is amazing because you get your programs, you get your scope and sequences, you get your assessments, and then we can tweak what we need from there. And having people who are less experienced in the faculty, that actually makes a massive difference for us.
And so what did it look like before you joined any of our memberships for you guys as a school and as a faculty, or even for you as the leader of PDHP at your school?
When we sort of started programming for the last one, it was just me and another person, and we sort of just split it up and did it ourselves. We didn't actually have a head of faculty then. We had a TAS person sort of looking over us. And we sort of just did the best we could with what we had. And we both taught completely differently. So my programs didn't necessarily suit him, and his programs didn't necessarily suit me, but we sort of made it work, and we just, half and half. So someone did stage 4, someone did stage 5, and it was sort of each to their own almost.
And when did you guys do that? Were you guys like at school after hours? Was it like in faculty time?
We did it all after school or in holidays. Like, we didn't get any time allocated to it whatsoever. It was all our own time, well, family time really, to actually do those things.
Yeah. And so now, Steph, for everyone who is listening, Steph is in both our CAFS and HMS memberships. Their school has also joined our PDHP memberships. And look, I think the biggest thing is time is so precious, and getting that time back and going, okay, we have to prepare all this new stuff on top of what we're actually teaching. Like, HMS is going for the first time this year. We have a past syllabus, which is up for feedback. Child studies is just around the corner. PDHP from kindergarten to year 10 is like, we're in our preparation and planning phase. When do we actually get time to do this? When you decided this year to join the PDHP membership, what did you like from our HMS membership that you're like, okay, this is why we kind of decided to choose to join the PDH one as well?
I really liked the comprehensive nature of everything that you get, and the easy ability for us to then change it for our context and fit it for us. So everything's done in such detail, and you can make small tweaks here and there quite easily rather than having to start from scratch, basically. Yeah. So, and I got a lot of feedback from our faculty saying that everything we were doing was really what you had already prepared was really good. So why not do it again? Why start from scratch again? Let's start with something that's already there and we can tweak.
Yeah.
And we don't have to spend the man hours doing that in our own time.
Yeah. And because I think schools are in lots of different positions where, the time is very small. Faculty time, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. I think that was a conversation last year we had with a lot of high schools, that people were doing it in faculty meetings, but then going around in circles and going, okay, we actually didn't achieve anything. We spoke for 45 minutes, but we actually haven't written any of our programs yet. We haven't written any of our scope and sequences. So how do you see you guys now moving through this brand new syllabus? Like, what's your plan of attack as the head of faculty at your school?
My plan of attack is to see what stuff we've got, what then works with what you can provide us, and what the students' interests are, because there seems to be quite a bit of flexibility in it and how we deliver it, and what works for us and what works for our kids is far more important. And we don't want to reinvent like the wheel whatsoever. Like, we want to use things that we know that work already, and not change everything completely.
Yeah. And I think that's the nature of this new syllabus. Like, there are lots of things lots of content that is still in there that's relevant. We're still teaching nutrition. We're still teaching relationships, respectful relationships, sex ed. Like, it's in our course. But I think our approach is very different. And the last 3 nights we've been talking about that a lot. Like, it's tackling it from that whole school approach and looking at the syllabus and going, okay, our kids, like, this is what's happening for them in our context. Because, you guys are, far south coast of New South Wales is very different to what happens, up at Tamworth or up here on the Central Coast or in Western Sydney. And I think that's, I think the great thing about what we're, developing over time is you can tweak it, change it, use the scope and sequence, use the program, and go, okay, we're going to put our spin on it, but I'm not starting from scratch. I'm not starting from a blank slate to kind of go, well, I've got nowhere to start. And what we've been working on are those backwards mapping documents to go, okay, what's the big picture? What's the big focus? Let's tweak it for our context. So, look, we love having Steph inside our memberships, and I think it is a matter of, just asking the question. So if we have teachers out there, we have primary teachers, principals, deputies, head teachers, and they want to go to their line manager or person in charge. What kind of conversations have you had with your the person who's going to potentially give you the approval?
I would say that in terms of staff wellbeing, this is an amazing place to start. Like, people are going to save so much time from joining the programs, both this K to 6, 7 to 10. They're going to get hours back, and even that school hours back that they can then use for other things. Like, let's collaborate on something else. Let's see where we can draw connections from PE to science or to food tech in terms of our nutrition stuff, whatever. Like, it gives us more time to do other things that are going to value add to our programs and the kids learning, because we're not spending hundreds of hours sitting there programming.
Yeah. And I think it's taking the guesswork out of it, but also that, like you said, that those woman hours and men hours of actually sitting there and doing it together. I'm thinking people taking days off to then program, taking days off to write units of work, like that absenteeism and that whole staff well-being. If we talk about protecting teachers' time and, looking after their well-being, like, this is a massive, massive gift to teachers to go, okay, well, here you go on a silver platter, like, here's all these hours back for you to actually focus on building those relationships with your kids, focusing on, maybe some peer marking or, so some of those big ticket things that schools are really focusing on. All of that prep and planning happens in the background. So, Steph, thank you so much for jumping on today to chat to us. If other teachers are listening and want to check out our memberships, we have our K to 10 syllabus, brand new, about to be taught. So we have our K to 6 membership, but also our 7 to 10. So you can head to thelearnet.com/PDHPE. But Steph, thank you so much for being such a valuable member. We love giving back to you and serving you as a very busy coordinator, leader. Steph works very hard with her faculty and her kids. So thank you, Steph. Very much appreciate your energy and your passion for PDH and CAFS and HMS and all the things. Thanks heaps, Steph.
Thank you.
Pleasure.